Hey Sages, and welcome to your July 2019 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to update you on some of the energies coming in, which I think are going to be really building for you this month. I think your foundation as a person is getting stronger through some of the trials that you're going through with your planet, Jupiter, being retrograde. Some of the cards that are coming up are not the easiest, but I like how you have this influx of Pentacles energy and that your central theme is King of Pentacles, because it says to me that anything that you go through here just contributes to a stronger foundation and contributes to a keener understanding of how to manage your energy, your time, your resources, and everything that is beneath you. So I think that you are really going to be at least starting a journey of optimizing your life in July. That's what it's really feeling like to me, is optimizing is what I keep hearing. And it might not be completely in effect by the end of July, but by September for you, especially when your planet Jupiter goes direct once more, I think that you are going to see that you're living a much more optimized, organized, well-feeling life than you maybe ever have. Certainly since the time of the Saturn in your sign Sagittarius in 2017. I think that you're going to finally really be getting things back into order from that period of time through a bit of hard work and management, strong management in this month. It's really looking beautiful. I can say right off the bat, though, you're carrying too much in July, and you're going to see that too. You're going to feel maybe a bit of a heaviness. Maybe your chest feels heavy. Maybe your whole body feels heavy. Maybe it's hard to keep straight posture. That to me is an energetic sign that there is too much on your back and too much weight that you're carrying, and you're going to have to let go of it. You've got that Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, and Seven of Swords, and Ten of Pentacles as well. We've got a lot of later energies coming up, which is a representation of just many things within those archetypes having grouped into your life. And especially with Ten of Wands and Seven of Swords, it's just there's way too many things in your hands, way too many things on your plate. So you've got to employ a bit of discretion in the month of July and understand what you actually can do and what you actually can accomplish, most definitely. And there has to be a reverberation of that understanding that goes on with you. One of the worst things a Sagittarius can do during a Jupiter retrograde is take on too much, do too many things that they can't do, sign up for too much, promise things they cannot deliver. That can happen for Sagittarius easily, especially because Jupiter is retrograde in Sagittarius. So yeah, you might have to cancel a few things. You might have to pull a few things. You might have to explain to people why you're unable to do something. And you might have to focus more on your health, focus more on stillness. You're one of the only signs this month that I feel that stillness is not bad for. You know, some of you might have to travel, some of you might have to make a move, but within that, there has to be an inner sense of stillness. Most of the other signs are too prone to stagnation, but you're too prone to hyper movement in this month, and you've got to maybe slow down a little bit. I've been telling all the signs pretty much to slow down a bit in July. You don't want to rush things, you don't want to take things too quickly, and you don't want to procrastinate either. Again, we have 5 planets retrograde, and some of you may have seen my things not to do during a quintuple retrograde season video, and I would definitely refer to that as well, because it will help to get more understanding about those particular retrogrades, because everyone, is having to look back, having to understand what's happened, and moving on, having learned lessons. And lessons are numerous for you in the month of July. But I'm going to keep the readings moving pretty quickly, Sagittarius. For me personally, I've had to take things slower too. I've had to slow down a little bit on the readings since I had so much content coming out, and working on the new ebook, working on the new merch, the Patreon page, doing all of these things. It's hard for one person, and I do it all by myself, all completely alone. I don't have any type of assistance on any of this, so it's been very, very challenging to keep up with it all, but I am, and despite having a few delays, moving into Mercury retrograde, I'm still making sure that it happens, and I'm pacing myself, and I'm moving at a decent rate. But I'm not going to lie, Sagittarius, it's been very difficult, okay? And I'm an extremely Sagittarian person. I have a stellium of Sagittarius in my chart. And I think that I can speak for all Sagittarius when I say that we have things that we love in our lives. We have things that we want to see succeed and people that we want to help and all of that. But what happens when also it's so difficult for us to do that, or we try to do so much within that actually not that much ends up getting done. We really have to optimize what we're doing in our lives and understand what is needed to move forward and what isn't, and how we can manage our time better and all of that. And some of those things may not be perfectly put together until about September, once Jupiter and Saturn go direct. But it's during this time of the retrograde that we identify the problem area and start to fix it. Again, it doesn't just magically fix itself by September. It's through the identification here in the summer and the hard work that we put in during this retrograde time that makes things run more smoothly once things go direct. But yes, I do apologize again for the delay in getting these readings out to y'all. It was difficult to get them out even at this period of time. But August readings will be much quicker, and I've appreciated all of your patience very much. But anyway, Sagittarius, enough about me and enough about the readings. Let's get into the week to week of this reading and see more specifically what's coming up for you. In the first week of July, you have 10 of Pentacles rooted down by 7 of Pentacles. You've saved a lot of money or time or resources. You have gained ground. I want you to look back to right before Saturn went into Sagittarius around early 2016. And I want you to compare that period of time to now and see how much further you've come and see how much more ground you've gained, how you'll never, with this current momentum, be back in that difficult situation in some way. And I want you to understand the weight of that and understand how prominent that is to have gotten out of that situation or to have changed your life in a way that you're not going to be stuck in like poverty or stuck in difficulty in the same way that you were before. And I want you also to compare your problems now to those of that period of time and see if, maybe we're a lot better off than we think that we are. Maybe we're capable of making this a little bit easier on ourselves. So yeah, the first week of July is going to be all about reflecting and seeing how far you've come, and then using what you've gained during that time, budgeting it in a sound and sturdy way, okay? Week number 2, you have Page of Cups reversed, rooted down by the Empress reversed. So yeah, through this progression that you've had over the last few years, there have been maybe a few coping habits that aren't the healthiest, as well as maybe discouragement that's come in your life about how you attract things in or how hard you have to work. The Empress reverse to me can suggest that you don't feel like things are easy enough. You don't feel like things are coming in a way that is easy at all. Like you can't relax within your experience. You're feeling like you can't take a breath, okay? It does feel heavy, and you're learning. You're learning through this month of July, because we get even heavier into that as the month goes, how to relax more, how to simplify things, how to make more through doing less and through being more comfortable. Because something isn't maintainable. There's a work ethic or a determination, a way of treating your body or going about your job that is not healthy, I feel, for Sagittarius. And I think that created itself again around the 2016-2017 period of time, and it worked for you then, but it wasn't meant to be permanent. It was meant to like get you out of a difficult place, and now you have to really optimize and do things a little bit differently and actually accomplish more, get more through optimizing what it is that you do. Week number 3, you have the Death card rooted down by 10 of Wands. Hardworking transformation, Death upright, 10 of Wands upright, seeing that the motivations of the past, the Wand suit is all about motivation and desire and wants. Seeing how the motivations from the past are no longer suiting you, seeing how the motivation from the past is just weighing you down, and letting go of that weight spurs such a strong transformation that it ends like a particular motivation or a particular desire, maybe a want for someone or some career or some way of being, may end for you during that time. You don't want it anymore. It's something that you used to want so badly that you worked really hard for, you just don't want anymore. And that can sometimes require a grieving process. Something that you really had your hand around may die during that time, and that is okay. You guys need more room. You need more space energetically. You need more opportunity for the universe to come in and fill the emptier receptors within your body. Because there's nothing empty. Everything is taken. Everything is filled. and it's too heavy. So there's got to just be that release of dead foliage. And you're going to know in the third week of July what that is. You're going to see what's taking too much from you. You're going to see what's too heavy. And then you're going to know how to transform out of it. It's going to be beautiful. Week number 4, you have Page of Swords reversed, rooted down by 7 of Swords. Calm yourself down a little bit. It's too logistic. The energy of that week is too sharp and pointy and unresting. Calm down, rest your mind, find ways to meditate, to slow the mind down a little bit. It's hyperactive energy the entire month, really. Not so much in the first week, but by the time we get to the second week on, there's a strong potential for hyperactivity. So I would avoid caffeine. I would avoid any type of stimulants. I would avoid anything that you know gets your brain going too fast, because again, your planet is retrograde. Sagittarius is a hyperactive sign naturally. I always like to say Sagittarius has a natural supply of caffeine, so because the stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, all of those things, the neurotransmitters, they all run more quickly for Sagittarius. They produce more. Everything is more in Sagittarius. It is Jupiter's sign. It is an expansion of everything, taller people, bigger people, more energetic people, louder people. Everything is more. So when your planet's retrograde, you see the negatives of everything being more. So yes, stress disorders, anxiety disorders, endocrine or adrenal problems, thyroid problems, any type of consequence of the body, the nervous system working on hyperdrive. So you have a mission, and you're going to see in the first week of July, actually, you're going to see how to calm down, because actually the first week is a very calm energy, but there's something about the second week that maybe you're too busy, maybe you have too much of a schedule, too many promotions or something, I don't know, but you're just slowly moving into territory where you could be triggered into more hyperactiveness. But you're going to have learned something from the first week about how to calm down and how to really temper your mind. Okay, because it's all in your mind this month. I'm not feeling that the problems are super physical. I mean, they can translate because, the mind and the physical body are, what I like to say is the line separating the energetic health of the physical and mental body is very fragile and delicate right now. So it will translate on both sides, but it's starting at the mental level, not at the physical level for Sagittarius right now. And I mean, yes, we can interpret the fourth week in a more traditional way. People might sort of be there and seem like they're taking advantage of you, or people might be taking more from you than you can give. That's possible, but I actually feel that Seven of Swords differently in this particular reading, in the sense that I feel it more like you're just carrying too much sharp, hyperactive energy. Sometimes Seven of Swords doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. It can refer to the individual like carrying too many sharp things with them. So holding on to grudges, holding on to past pain, holding on to things which have outlived their use. And there's a lot of that in your reading. There's a lot of holding on. There's a lot of, Seven of Swords and Ten of Wands especially have, the figures with all of the objects in their arms, and it's like a struggle to keep them all together. So that's why I'm thinking, you have to let go this month. You have to calm down. You have to ease your mind. Don't force yourself to keep things within. Don't force yourself to keep a grasp on things. We're going from Cancer season to Leo season. There's always a strong letting go that happens during that transition, okay? And King of Pentacles is your central theme, as I was saying, so all of this is working out to your favor. How strong your foundation becomes when you realize that you could have let go a long time ago, or you could have, not had all these sharp things around for a while. And also how strong it becomes when you realize, yeah, I worked so hard for that. It was hard. It was difficult. I pushed myself too hard, but it took me really high. And now I can relax, calm down, and move a bit slower now because of that hard work. Really being on top of what you've built yourself is the goal for this month. Whatever that is, that could look like a huge business empire. That could look like, just being able to get out of bed for some people. And like the slight shift in feeling a little bit better when you got out of bed in the morning. It can be a small thing that's really big or a big thing that's smaller. One way or another, you've got to find your throne on what you've built yourself and see your own contribution and what you've done, only you've done to create where you're at. Taking creative, autonomous culpability for where you're at is the goal this month, Sag. Sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit. Throat chakra energy for sure is strong for everyone. The messages have been more difficult to articulate this month. So communication, again, with all those swords cards at the end of the month, there will be a need for healthy communication and honest communication. Page of Swords reversed can sometimes be the energy of white lies to me, so I would watch out for those. And I would watch out for, because that's another thing that really makes things heavy, is dishonesty or deception, especially if it's coming from within you. If you're like, even if it's only the smallest of like white lies, that really magnifies anything that you're carrying. It's so much easier and restful for your mind to just be truthful and honest, because, and I could go down a whole like tangent about that whole subject, but when we lie or when we deceive, or even in the smallest sense, we actually create a new reality for someone else. We actually expend a huge amount of our own life force energy to even make the smallest tweak to another person's reality that is not real, because it has to be manifested from scratch. We have to completely use our own universal energy to manifest a new reality from scratch. It's nothing that's been created by the other person, but they now believe it. And, if we have people out there who are lying to a lot of people, or people out there who are, doing that, it's such a heavy burden to carry, because you've used so much more energy than it would have taken to, build the business, or to really do whatever it was, just to affect the realities of other people. And sometimes to even, because I know Sages aren't really a lying sign. They prefer honesty, but sometimes they do like to make other people comfortable. Sometimes they do like to do white lies to make the other person feel better. It's not usually so toxic or malevolent, but it's still the same thing. You've still drastically impacted another person's reality in a way that is not true to you. So I would avoid it if I could, especially during this time with your planet retrograde. It's just, there's not a lot of energy to work off of. And I feel pretty drained getting into Sagittarius's energy, because you guys have so much of it, because Jupiter's in your sign, but it's retrograde. So just, keep moving. Keep strong, get to September. Things will get really beautiful and incredible by September. July and August is a bit of a job, though, for you. But it's through that it becomes beautiful, as I was saying. And I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling now and conclude the reading here. But be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, Rising sign if you would like other messages. And your likes, comments, and subscribes make my day. I'm on social media. I'm on Patreon. I have a new ebook called Moon Symbols coming out. And all of those links will be below in the description box. And yeah, thank you guys so much for checking it out. I will be talking to y'all soon. Much love. Bye.